think I'm cool, but I just pay the checks. Wow.
Degen Dads, living on the edge. Diapers in crypto, making our pledge. From Bitcoin blocks to NFT stacks. We're riding Web3 and never looking back. Hey.
We're the Degen Dads, diapers in DeFi. Two crypto nerds just trying to get by.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the show, the Degen Dads podcast. I am Chris Coffey, joined by my co-host, Kyle Wilson. Today, we're going to be talking about the launch of L1 blockchain Plasma. It has this token tied to it called XPL that we're going to be analyzing during this show. We're going to be talking about the market crash. Everything's nuking, everything's dipping. Are we buying or are we selling? We're going to be talking about that in today's episode. And we're going to be talking about some really cool on-stage stuff like OpenSea's upcoming airdrop. They've kind of switched to a chess system, so we're going to navigate through that. We're going to talk about BZ's partnership with them. Maybe even open some packs later on the stream. A lot being said, how's it going today, Kyle?
We're doing great, man. We got a lot to cover. There's even more Aster. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Kalshi. Again, these projects that are flipping the current incumbent. So I think we got a lot here today in today's episode. You're going to want to lock in and stay tuned to the very end. And yeah, let's go ahead and get it going today, man. I don't know if you saw, but WLFI got added to Robinhood today. I don't know if you're...
I didn't see, but of course, that's the day after I close a ridiculously large position on it. Mainly, the only reason I closed was because of the market uncertainty. And I just noticed from trading War Liberty so much that like it just does whatever ETH does. So that's what's holding up the price right now, though. I can tell you that because it's not crashing quite as much as its counterparties.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, if you're a WLFI guy or gal, whatever, then yeah, that might be the one for you. Like Chris said, the market's dipping. There's a lot of good opportunities out there to pick them up on the low and ride it up as we move closer to October. So I don't know if the dip is done dipping. Crypto Banner saying that we're not done dipping. So maybe perhaps we go down another leg, aka Ethereum going down another leg. So we'll see here, though. Yeah, I think that was a pretty interesting piece of news there.
That is really interesting. And like we said, it's kind of holding. I'll probably have it up here. I've searched it so much, but it's been like around this like 19 cents to like 20 cents, basically. I mean, give or take. And the only reason I think right now it's not at like breaking that really like 18 is the support. It's not breaking that. It's probably because the Robinhood announcement. Because I mean, it's only down. It's break even the last 24 hours, 0.2% down, whereas like ETH is down 4.3%, Bitcoin is down 2.1%, and also losing key levels. I think that this is still in ETH's range, but it obviously lost that 4K. What do they call those like even numbers that are just like more of like a mental number? It lost that.
However, it is over 4K on Coinbase right now.
Okay. Oh, look, it just jumped back up in real time on CoinGecko.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's fighting to stay above that 4K level. You know, if it continues to test 4K and like breaks down below, yeah, then I think 38.50 or something like that could be on the cards. And Ansem would be wrong. But I think it's a gamble here. I think people are just literally, usually if it's a 50-50 odds, usually the bears win because people like to err to caution. And that's just human nature. So that's why I think it did dip. But yesterday it could have went up. So I think, again, Tom Lee keeps saying it won't go below 4K, and it has a couple times. And so I think that he does have some good points. Wall Street's still buying Ethereum, and there's still going to be a lot of like treasury companies buying Ethereum. So they're going to buy all these dips at the end of the day. So I don't know if these dips are going to last very long. And we are moving into the month of October, which is considered a much more bullish month than September. And that's when a lot of people they're projecting mid-October is really when the fireworks are going to start.
Yeah, they call it Uptober for a reason. I didn't read this just simply because of time. You mentioned Tom Lee, but somebody wrote this article, Andrew Kang. I don't know if you saw this. It got it's probably over 1 million views on X. It's like a very deep article on I'll read it in a second. Yeah, it's got 1.1 million views, and literally it's Tom Lee's ETH thesis is retarded, and goes into basically arguing against Tom Lee's ETH thesis. I haven't read it, and I'm an ETH bull, So this is kind of like counter what I agree with, I'm sure. But I am going to give this a read later just to kind of see their points. And obviously, a million people thought it was worth looking at, so it's probably worth looking at. But I thought that was interesting being you brought up Tom Lee. Did you see this on your timeline?
I did not. I think Tom Lee is like, he predicted Bitcoin to go in where it is now. So I think he's got a lot of credibility. And he's got a lot of like mind share in terms of Wall Street. So people can say whatever they want about Tom Lee and disagree with him, but he does have a lot of clout in Wall Street, and that's really all that matters. Like he's like basically Wall Street's top KOL right now, and that's kind of like a big deal. So if you're, I think that's what matters the most. He's kind of driving that narrative that he's going to have stablecoin and RWA adoption, and they literally the charts show that they are the leaders right now. Ethereum is. So I mean, to his point, he's got a lot of credibility, and Ethereum is like the most secure blockchain outside of like Bitcoin, and especially in terms, it's like an internet computer of sorts, and which is quite different from Bitcoin's thesis. So I do agree with most of Tom Lee's thesis, although I am apprehensive to say that like ETH is going to be the 100% dominant blockchain forever in terms of stable coins, because there is like other efficient blockchains like a Solana and Avalanche. And so, yeah, I think there's still some outliers out there, and the jury's still out for me personally when it comes to stablecoins and RWAs, because again, Solana and AVAX are pretty secure blockchains as well. I think Solana being a little bit more centralized, but as time goes on, they're getting more and more decentralized. So,
yeah, that makes sense. I agree with everything as far as like ETH is still going to be the main dominator in everything besides Bitcoin. I mean, I think it's just already had so much time to be adopted, but we'll see how it plays out. I mean, I hope it plays out that way. I'm also kind of stressed out because this XPL just is continuing to rip. And as you know, I opened up a nasty short on it before the pod. I guess we'll go ahead and I want to say one more thing macro wise before moving on. Maybe even play this clip. I don't know if this is exactly the right spot, but we have had some bad macro news. I believe like Russia planes like flew over Alaska today. So that's like kind of fear and uncertainty. And then basically Powell yesterday. So was this yesterday? Yeah, on the 23rd. So not yesterday, but the day before that. Said some statements that kind of shook people. He basically said, if this isn't the exact clip, that there's a chance that they won't cut rates again, and that like risk assets like stocks and crypto, he didn't say that specifically, are he basically said they're looking toppy. I mean, it's almost like Jerome Powell called the top. And I don't know this exact clip, but I do want to play it just to give you an idea where it was from. Let me know if you can hear it. Give me a thumbs up. Can you hear it, Kyle?
No, I cannot.
Well, so much for that. Basically, he talks about their goals is for stability, which would be, not cutting rates. And this happened pretty recently. I mean, this was uploaded a day ago, even though the speech is from 2 days ago, and it kind of got circled around. So with all that being said, a new L1 blockchain launched today. It's Plasma. And basically, this is going to be allow you to like use Aave and get stable yield, and it's going to be like an architecture play of like people are going to use this to be able to earn high yields on their stable coins, and it has a token attached to it called XPL. XPL is doing numbies right now. Look at this green candle, Kyle. And it's just like going infinitely up. And people got into this on the ICO at 5 cents. And currently it's at almost $1. So they're up a ridiculous amount if you got in during the ICO. And yeah, this thing's printing. Do you have any thoughts on this?
I don't know much about this one. I know that Justin Sun like giga pumped it for like I think like a month ago or something like that. Like people had a bunch of shorts in, and he like liquidated everybody.
Yeah,
and his like response was like, sorry guys, I'm just a really rich person, and that I didn't really mean to do that. But like liquidated like millions of dollars worth of like people's accounts, and then he's like, yep, sorry. And then he like giga dumped it like 2 seconds later.
I remember that.
But that's all I've heard about XPL. I don't know much about it. Yeah, so that's kind of my extent of that one.
So believe it or not, this Degen, you've argued with him before. Cook Capital, I think you even like bought his token or something. But
Yeah.
he's been posting about it because he got in on the ICO, and he actually had a good thesis on it. I'll go ahead and share this right here. So he says the bull case for Plasma is pretty simple. They have a special deal with Tether, and they get T-bills for Tether's wholesale cost. No other stablecoin issuer will ever be able to match stablecoin yields on Plasma chain. That said, don't expect an Aster-like move here because that move already happened. ICO buyers, including me, are already up almost 20x from the offering price at 5 cents. XPL is still a good buy today. It's still a good buy today, though, in my opinion. I'm a buyer below 80 cents. And if we pump crazy today to like $1.50 or something on excess demand, I would trim the ICO bag. Long term, XPL will go to $5 provided they execute the neobank vision. If you are just hearing about it and we're not in the ICO, there's a big takeaway for you, whatever. So that's kind of his bull case for it. I don't know. Do you have any opinions on that? I know you are a DeFi guy, so hearing things like nobody's going to be able to match the stable yield like Plasma. Does that speak anything to you?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Plasma. I just think that like the other protocols could do something similar. I don't think there's necessarily a moat around stablecoin yields. I've seen other stablecoin yield platforms have a ton of yield on it as well. But yeah, I don't really have a pony in this race right now, so I don't really have a strong opinion on this one. I just think stablecoin yields, whatever, they all fluctuate. They're not very like, they have to be backed by some serious like firepower for them to have like sustainable yield. Low yield stablecoins are usually safer. So just because you have a better yield doesn't mean much, in my opinion. Like, yeah, it's susceptible to going down, like especially if there's a ton of liquidity that gets dumped into it. Usually it means that yield is going to go away and it's going to reduce, and it's not very sustainable. So I don't know. We found out real fast how sustainable Luna was when it collapsed with Doe and his protocol. So just because your yields are amazing doesn't always mean that's the best thing. And yeah, that's kind of my take on just a general take. I don't have a pony in this race, and so I can't say I'm for or against this one.
I do have a pony in the race. I got this short open right now, and I'm down pretty bad. A little less bad at the moment. So I shorted here, and then I increased my position here 3 times. So I'm trying to get my average up. I do feel like if I can find the top of this thing is just going to go down, like back down to like maybe even 60 cents. But I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to like figure out. This is like price discovery, like it's hard to figure out where this is going to land. It could even land like at $1.50, like Cook was saying, like, it could go just keep on going up. But right now, I mean, price action's kind of crazy. Volume's kind of crazy. If you're really good at TA, I don't even know if TA helps you in this situation. All right, it's kind of nuking right now, just like that one candle. But yeah, I have a 3x short. Now I have a 10x short open on this right now. So you guys wish me luck on this journey. I went from down like $100 on like during this me talking to like only down 15. So we're on a good pace right now. But yeah, I have a couple more things, Kyle. But do you want to transition to something you have pulled up before going into anything else, or?
Yeah, I'm just closing my positions today. ETH keeps breaking under 4K, and it's like got a nasty red candle right now. So I'm just trying to like close that off a little bit. Because I do think that like if it can't hold 4K, I think it has a good chance of going back down. Unfortunately, I was hoping Ansem would be wrong, but he might be right here. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's a fake out dip, and the dip happens and like it doesn't last very long. But yeah, like in terms of other things going on in the space, I got something I can screen share real quick, which is Aster.
Oh, so yeah, of course.
I'll go ahead and pull this guy up.
I'll take that down.
So it looks like Wales buys 118 million in Aster. 2 Whales just scooped up 118 mil, just $270 million, equal to 7% of circulating supply. Meanwhile, 15 wallets are likely owned by 1 whale. So whales are buying up Aster. Aster is literally on chain Binance. This article goes on, and it just has this cool infographic that's really the only thing I wanted to share. Oh yeah, let me swap over here. Per volume, 24 hours. You can see Binance 85 million, Aster already at 32 billion. I do think there's some wash trading going on Aster
Of
to
course.
boost their numbers naturally, but however, they have been generating fees, and that's kind of the main thing that matters. Like I think they have like over 10, 10 million in fees or something like that. Let me see if I can find the actual amount. It could be more than that. But yeah, open interest on Hyperliquid or on Aster is dethroned Hyperliquid currently. Again, some of this could just be wash trading, but you can see, yeah, in terms of fees per volume. So yeah, 10 billion on Aster, 13 billion on Hyperliquid. So Hyperliquid, I think the stats are pretty organic here. I think it's safe to say a lot of everything they do is pretty organic at this point. You have another platform called Lighter. Has, I guess, a little market share over here, but they have, I guess, 24-hour open interest as well, but nothing close to, Aster. So I don't know. I thought this was pretty interesting to take a look at because Aster is doing like a huge, massive airdrop. So if you are an Aster, you can farm it several different ways through like DeFi or just trading. And yeah, so this is something to definitely keep an eye on. I think it's definitely it has continued to do pretty well on the chart. So we're going to go over to the perpetual Aster chart. Currently, it's dipping.
Yep.
This is the dip I was actually expecting yesterday, and it is playing out right here. I did think that the price was a little too much up here, and I did expect a correction back down to touch at least $2 again. And then if we go down to the day chart, it actually has room to actually go down a little more, but $1.70, $1.80. So if the market continues to drop, I think this will go down a little bit more. So I may actually enter an Aster trade here, given the market dip. You can see it's retesting this local high, this previous high over here. And this is exactly what I thought it would do. So that's kind of nice that's playing out. It could, again, here's a node here with a lot of trade volume down in the 1960 level even. So it's got room to dump even more, which will probably cause a lot of KOLs to panic on crypto Twitter. That's something you're probably going to have to tune out if you're looking to get another entry, a lower entry here, and just buy when it's bloody and then obviously sell when there's a lot of hype. So that's my kind of plan to re-enter
look
this
at that
one.
volume gap, bro. I can't really see. It's a little blurry, so I can't see it clearly, but I can see the volume gap right there. So what's the price between like that current support it's at right now versus the next support?
So you're looking around right now. It's at $1.91, but this node is like $1.95, and then the gap between that and $1.60, pretty much. So you're talking about
40-cent or 30-cent gap.
Yeah, like a 30. Yeah, exactly. So pretty much like
almost want to, dude. I like part of me is just like I want to try to get it. I've touched Aster once. I swung it from $1.50 to $2, but I wouldn't mind shorting just to counter CT here. But also, freaking CZ can crime this whenever he wants, so that's always keeping me at the edge of my seat.
I think the short would have been good yesterday, as you saw it consolidating, and then it just ran it way so high. It broke out, and it was good for a correction, at least to test this previous like $2 high back here. So the fact that the market's kind of weakened might suggest that this Aster could go down a little bit lower. So Ethereum is barely holding on to this 4K level. Like it's struggling for its entire life right now to hold 4K. So if that continues to weaken, you might expect Aster to have a hard sell off down into here, down into these levels. So we'll see though. Again, the dip could be very quick. I think there's a lot of like dry powder on the sidelines waiting for this kind of stuff. So it's kind of like a wait and see. Another cool thing, well, not cool, but another interesting thing I should say is Kalshi. So not only are there marketplace, these perpetual platforms having wars, Aster and Hyperliquid. Now we have Kalshi and Polymarket. I guess they both appeared in South Park, apparently. Obviously, it's super abrasive and like super divisive episode. So take this all with a
That's
grain of
funny.
salt. But they both posted like, "Hey, we got to mention," trying to get some publicity drummed up. But that's that. Both of them kind of like mentioned that. Again, I don't know if cow cheese is actually true, but I think they wouldn't post that if it wasn't, and they would have got a community note if it was false. But this is the interesting thing: is Kalshi's actually taken market share away from Polymarket. Polymarket, as we thought, was a very dominant force, and me and Chris were covering a lot of Polymarket charts and votes and whatever in polls. But Kalshi has slid through the back door, and they have surpassed Polymarket in like weekly prediction market transactions. They have the nominal, it says here weekly prediction market notional volume. So they are actually surpassing Polymarket by a good amount, 62% compared to 37% there. And then open interest, or no, this is volume again. But if we go down to like the open interest, it gets a little bit more fair, 51% versus 48 on Polymarket. So they're still leading in open interest as well. And then everything else, these are just the rest of there's like a bunch of stats, but those are the ones that matter. And yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that Kalshi flipped Polymarket in some of this stuff. Just thought Polymarket had like super dominant market share. However, they're still like, it's still going to be a war, right? Because Polymarket announces it now pays 4% annualized rewards daily on open positions and select long-term Polymarkets. So they are definitely doing some rewarding of these types of activities if you're engaged in some of these like long-term Polymarket markets. So interesting stuff, man, shaping up in the crypto space.
I'll say this. When I talked
Yeah.
about prediction markets, IRL, everybody that I talk to goes to Kalshi. Like says Kalshi. They're not participating, but like they won't say like, oh, you mean Polymarket. They'll either say Kalshi or they'll like be thinking about it and it ends up being Kalshi. I have no idea why. I just somehow I feel like Kalshi is getting the retail's attention more than Polymarket.
Yeah, I tweeted, or not tweeted, I posted on LinkedIn about this. And what I said is basically Kalshi is running a masterclass in ads right now. They like hired Marshawn Lynch. They were doing like ads on Twitch. They were targeting me specifically, which means they know I'm a good demographic for their platform, which is true. But then they're also, I was watching some news outlets, like some independent news like reporters, because I don't like anything biased. I don't like to watch biased like news because there's reporters are not reporters; they're pundits, and I don't like pundits really. So I like my oatmeal plain, if you know what I mean. So they were advertising on like independent journalists, like new YouTube channels, and they were streaming and like had thousands and thousands of viewers live, and they were talking about like this prediction market, and they compared it against of like what was going on with their newscast. So they were talking about this piece of news. They showed it a Kalshi market, and it showed like the vote, and so they pulled it up as news. But then they're like, oh yeah, and we're sponsored by Kalshi. You can blah blah blah. Go to Kalshi to vote on this. And so I was like, man, that is a superior strategy. Like to talk about you're a news reporter. You're talking about this Kalshi market because this is what people are actually putting their money to their mouth, right? And then now they're also advertising that too as a sponsor. I'm like, dude, that is like genius. That's brilliant. So
Yeah.
I think Polymarket hasn't really ran too many ads I've seen personally. Maybe they have. I think they've done a really great job on social media. They've gained a lot of like, that mind share. But Kalshi, man, they have put a absolute masterclass of like targeting people and using ads and sponsorships to drive, I guess, apparently more users to their platform. So, man, credit to them for putting on that masterclass. That's all I got to say. As a marketer, that's like some pretty gnarly playbook right there.
Yeah, it worked. Whoever they hired did a great job. And then
Shout
it's
out to their
obviously
marketing
reaching
team.
retail.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. Anything else you got? I have a couple of things, but I can wait.
No, it looks like East trying to regain that 4K market share again, or that 4K price level again. You're right. It's on a kind of a major node down here. So, it's crazy. It's been holding around these nodes, these volume nodes right here. So right here, try to hold. broke down to the next one, and it's been building here, broke down to this other smaller one. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to see like the correlation between like where a lot of volumes coming in. I mean, it's not a surprise at the end of the day, but yeah.
I feel like XPL found a new floor that's just above my short entry, but I try not to look at it. Just gonna let nature take its course.
Let it simmer.
Yeah.
I closed my WLFI in like a break even situation here. So I think if Ethereum breaks down, I think this will break down again to like that 19, 18 level again. Probably like 19-ish level. And we'll see. Maybe I'll pick up a dip there. And kind of like let the market carry me into October after that. So we'll see though.
Whew. So man, we've covered.
Oh, I clicked before you, bro. I'm fast.
You did. We'll get this in a second here. Let's see.
No, there I got you.
Oh, we covered BZ quite a few times on the podcast, and yeah, you can go ahead. And they have a partnership with OpenSea now, and so this is really cool. So obviously, BZ they're an RWA platform, so you can buy these like cards and collectibles, and you can choose to redeem them and get the physical, which I have right here, or you can choose just to sell them back or just keep them, whatever. Well, they teamed up with OpenSea. And now they're part of OpenSea's reward program, to where if you go through OpenSea tasks, you can actually get a pool of a BZ pool on there and be able to get something with that. So super cool. You can get, as OpenSea said, there's 100,000 Pokemon slabs, Labubu, still products, vintage collectible gifts, and more. 2,000 burnable NFT vouchers are being added to the rewards pool each day equals a single claw. Will your treasure chest reveal one? So how does that work? I'll go into this in just a second. But we're going to, if you actually go to OpenSea, it kind of transitioned from an XP to like a treasure chest system. And essentially it's sort of the same. Like you still do these daily quests. You can see this one ends like really soon. I think it ends in like 22 minutes. If I were to go buy, I actually might do this. It's 100 XP. That's actually more than I thought. If I go buy an NFT from something on Abstract, so I'll just do it. I'll show you how to do it. So I find something that's worth like $10. I don't think I have any money Abstract wise on this wallet, or I would. Are these things $10? Is 0.0032 $10?
Something like that. If you click on it, it'll actually show the USD.
Oh, that one's on. These are actually trading pretty high volume right now because so.
I just meant like that preview. Like if you click on the actual NFT to like enlarge it, not the buy now button.
Gotcha. See, these are going like hotcakes because people are trying to get the XP. But also, you want to make sure it's a verified collection. It has plenty of volume, unique owner, so it looks good. This looks like it checks out, and I actually do have a little bit of Abstract money in here, so I'm going to click one. I want to buy it. You can see that's going to take this much of my balance, or this is how much I have. I'll confirm the transaction.
And then you're wrecked.
And then I got rugged and I got drained. No, it's because these are going so fast. Let me just buy one like up here. Let me do this on so I didn't mention this in the intro like we usually do. All right, congrats, you got it. But we do on-chain stuff all the time on this podcast, and this we show stuff in real time. So that's what I'm doing here. And so if I go back to my rewards, you'll see that I bought an NFT from a verified collection on Abstract, so I get 100 points for that, and that's ending in 20 minutes. And then that'll give me chest points. So you can see right now I have 47% to this chest, this iron chest. I've already done my wood chest, and I'm tier 2. So once this goes through, you'll see this number increase. And then I also bought an NFT from a verified collection for $5. I also got this one. So I went from 47% to 53%. And then this will boost me up just a couple more percent. And once I open this chest, I could get things like those BZ claw pools. And also like this will all increase my OpenSea airdrop as well, of course. And I also need to do all the other things like link my other wallets and stuff like that. So I just did 2 quests. I went from 48% to 57%, but you can also do other things like you can, And there's, besides just the BZ claw pulls, there's other rewards here. So like depending on the chest you can get like right now you can win Sugartown Auras based on doing this quest, or you can earn like whatever other things they have in the rewards pool. So, but yeah, so I'm on this iron chest, and let me show you. You also get rewarded just for volume. You get rewarded for like so much random stuff that you do. But yeah, have you been looking at their new system? I know it's like not super.
No, NFTs for me just aren't it right now. There's just like with crypto being down, it's like it's like I don't even want to look at NFTs.
Okay, that's fair.
But you know what I do want to look at.
Yep.
You know what I really want to look at is I really want to look at Degen Dads school.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we're coming up close to 100 members. We are going to close it down for free. Like it's right now, it's open for free for the next 29 members or so for free for lifetime. Free for lifetime. Let me say that again. And so we are coming out with some resources. We're going to be releasing these courses here pretty soon, and we'll have even more. We'll have community calls weekly. And again, this is all free for currently for a lifetime up until 100 members. Then we're going to close it down, and then it's going to be a paid group. So you want to get in there quick, fast, hard, and with velocity before this closes up, or else you'll be left out in the cold, or you'll just have to pay the piper and pay the toll. And yeah, so we got a lot of good stuff in here, just a lot of analysis and a lot of breakdowns. And there's more to come. Again, Classroom, if you're a newbie in crypto, we'll even have more advanced stuff later on. And so lots of good stuff in store for the Degen Dads community. That's all I got.
Heyo. I just sold my my short for a 70% gain on XPL that I opened at the beginning of this podcast. You can see my 3 buys right here. And I just sold it. So I bought an average of 90 cents and I sold an average of 83. I sold the whole thing at 83 cents. I'm out of that trade stress free and actually did good on it. And it's actually pumping back up, and I'm not touching that thing again for the rest of the day. I might actually, I might come back to it. But as of right now, I'm out. There's a lot of volume. It's kind of juicy. It's kind of fun to do that. But yeah, that was a pretty good little swing trade while live on this podcast. Made a quick little $150, which isn't crazy, but like I brought this account from like and well, what did I even bring it to you? I don't even know. Hyperliquid's so hard to navigate sometimes. I brought it from like $40 to like, I want to say I brought it from $40 to $654, Kyle. That's not bad.
Yeah,
I brought it from $40 to like 200, and then I ran it back down to 40, and then I'm at 654 now.
Heck yeah.
So by doing these trades, people might laugh and be like, oh, just $150 or just $150 profit. But like I was doing that consistently every day. So like they do add up. And sometimes I'll do more size, but I did a little less size with this one because it's so new, I was nervous. But yes, sir. You can learn how to do that too if you're part of the school community. We've been working really hard, man, on the Classroom and basically navigating exactly the structure of the group. And it's finally all coming to fruition. But yeah, dude, so we've tackled already a lot. I know we're kind of...
Yeah, we tackled a lot.
Yeah, we kind of flew through this.
Yeah, all we... I mean, for the future, for like current alpha is obviously Jerome Powell, possibly rate cutting again next month. Again, October, traditionally a better month than September. So that's going to be something we're paying close attention to. And some other hopefully we'll have some more alpha calls and stuff like that. We'll definitely try to do some more BZ stuff as well. That's always a fun time. Giveaways in the Degen Dads community and school. We'll continue to do those as well. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, that's really all I got. So make sure you guys follow us on X at Kyle Wilson, the same as my name, just no spaces on X, and Chris Coffee on X with no spaces. And yeah, you're on mute.
Chris Coffee ETH.
Ooh,
I gotta get the ETH. I try to get Chris Coffee, and some guy has it that's not even active anymore. But Twitter tries to make you pay like bukus of money now for your username. So It's dumb.
Yeah, I used to have ETH, but it just got confusing to search, so I was like, I'm just gonna delete it.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had just like a clean Chris Coffee, but here we are. But yeah, after I closed that position, it's already back on at 90 cents almost again. So I'm glad I closed that short. Definitely be watching XBL. There's gonna be a lot of price action both ways. And unfortunately, this is like a sad day for the podcast because of the market's just like it's surviving, man. It's hanging on by a thread. I would say like ultimately I'm still bullish like on the market as a whole. We didn't even talk about this. Actually, I do want to talk about I'll just mention it. Binance and CZ are also still manipulating the market. And I don't think that we should just sweep that under the rug. I'm talking millions of dollars on Sol, on Ethereum, on all these tokens every single night. And what they do is they're selling it to Wintermute so at a higher price so they can then, which is like an OTC, so they can then buy it back cheaper. And one of the biggest problems with this as well is it actually never even hits the chain. So like degens or people wanting to buy these tokens, they can't take them out of circulation like it should be, like crypto is meant to be. Instead, it's just like it's this bad flywheel for everybody else to where they're having millions of sell pressure, selling it to our winter or going through Wintermute, buying it back, and it's just a cycle. So market makers are kind of able to do whatever they want with the market right now and aggressively shake it one way or the other for their advantage. And so it kind of it needs regulation, man. It really does, but it doesn't have it. And until there's regulation there or accountability, which I don't think there will be accountability, it's kind of something we can't avoid. You're kind of, I mean, crypto is going to do crypto things, but as far as like leverage trading and swing trades and stuff, you're kind of playing a rigged casino. Like when you're like, all the TA could be there, all the fundamentals could be there, everything could be there. And then you're in this 10x long or whatever, and then Binance could just crime it, and they could just sell millions of dollars and cut shorts out of the positions. That's basically what happened Monday. Monday, there was nothing changed fundamentally from the week prior. Matter of fact, should even be more bullish because the week prior we had a 25% rate cut. But Binance did Binance things, and yet people still want to praise Aster because they're making money on it. But I made money on it too, so whatever.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think it's kind of crazy. Like we used to worry about like institutional manipulation, but now it's actually coming from inside of crypto. And it's kind of a shame to see. I mean, I get what they're doing. Like they're making tons and tons of money. But at what cost? It's like, man, it's a shame sometimes, but that's the way it is. And that's the way they're rolling. And yeah, I'm not real big fans of what Wintermute or Binance really does in terms of the wider market. It's like created this kind of just scenario where people don't want to hold long term. They just want to do these quick in and outs. And yeah, it's created like it's like the pump fund for institutional like crypto. Like, I don't know, like it's like pump and dump mindset, I feel like. So I don't know. It's tough.
They're screwing us, bro. They're pumping and dumping on us, but it is what it is. Degen Dads remain bullish. We remain trying to be here week in, week out, day in and day out. And so we will see you guys next week at the same time. Get in school if you're watching this. It's pinned to the Degen Dads podcast channel. It should be in the descriptions too if you're finding this on YouTube or anything like that. But yeah, get in school. We are 70% full. We're over 70% full. After 30 more percent, we're locking it down and it will no longer be free. If you get in now, it's free for life.